Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We're going to be doing a mid-month energy update for the sign of Gemini. So this will be your middle of April tarot reading. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so if there's a message that does not resonate, drop that message and take the messages that do resonate. I also would say check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for additional messages. Now do understand that I will not send you a message on any platform, so if you get a message from someone, they are pretending to be me and they are trying to scam you, so please do keep that in mind. And I do have an Instagram account if you'd like to follow me there. I am using the Mermaid Tarot, so there's a link to that in the description below if you'd like to purchase that for yourself. But let's see what we have here for you, Gemini. All right. Hitting the like and subscribe buttons really does help my channel grow in a big way, so very much appreciated if you do that. All right, we'll take those 3 cards to clarify, and then we'll also take 3 Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. All right, let's make sure everything is in view, set up, and then we'll get right into it for you. I think that's looking just about good enough to me. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the King of Wands. Cards are all messed up here. I don't read reversals, but that's all right. So, King of Wands. This is a card of inspiration, and really it says, you know, your leadership style may be somebody who leads from a place of inspired action. King of Wands can get things done, and it's because the King of Wands does what they like to do for their career, for their job, for their work situation. You'll never find the King of Wands doing something that they don't like to do for their work. And so as a result, they can really take inspired action and you could say like change hearts and minds with the King of Wands, sort of. They'll be somebody who can like deliver an inspirational speech. And so you may be taking on those qualities about yourself. You may be stepping into a leadership role. The King of Wands could also say that you are an entrepreneur, or that is in your DNA, even if you're not an entrepreneur now. Maybe even if you don't work for yourself now, it's in your blood. You love to be running the show. You love to have your own thing going on. You know, you like to have different business ventures, business ideas. You've probably had a million of those at some point in your life if you're really resonating with the King of Wands to a certain degree. And so just some of the things that are coming in here for me at this time, but we'll have to dive in more and see what else comes in with that King of Wands. So in your current situation, you do have the Magician. Some of you are manifesting inspiration. Some of you are manifesting a business idea. Some of you are manifesting creativity. Some of you are looking to maybe channel creativity at this time. You can see this person sort of like channeling there, as you can see, but really what they're doing is they're doing alchemy. They have all of the tools on the table that they would ever need to manifest something big into their life. It is a major card of manifestation. It is one of the major cards that would be associated with law of attraction. And so some of you may be also taking a look at anything to do with law of attraction at this time as well. But the Magician is a very good card, and interestingly enough, or not, whatever, the Magician is somebody who needs to take action, okay? The problem for the Magician is not the skills, it's not the tools. They're skilled, they're talented, they have ability. The problem for the Magician is making sure that they are not dipping into laziness. The problem for the Magician is not taking action. You had that here with the King of Wands about inspired action, which honestly, I've never really brought that in with the King of Wands. And so it's interesting now that I see that you have the Magician in your current situation. Some of you, there's a situation around action showing up here for you, Gemini, that's very important. So what action are you taking at this time? In your problem situation, you do have the World. So this is interesting because you know what this is. For some of you, there's something that you know you need to do that you haven't done yet. Yeah, that's what it is. The World is a card associated with Saturn. Saturn really rewards you for doing the hard work, but for doing the things you have to do. Okay, you can't, Saturn will not miss anything, right? The energy, you can think of Saturn as like the stern father, or even the grandfather, or the stern mother even, or the stern grandmother. And nothing gets by this person, nothing gets by Saturn. And so if you have things on your to-do list that you haven't checked off yet, it's time for you to do that with this World card in the problem position. Now, in the past, you do have the Death card. This is a card that represents transformation, the cycles of life, obviously, as you can see here. It's interesting that this card, this interpretation of the Death card, is very, very interesting to me, in that it does give me this feeling of as above, so below, right? You can see the water here has been treated poorly. And that not only affects what happens on the surface, but it also affects what happens below. And, I wonder if some of you are showing up for yourself. I wonder if some of you are operating at the surface level right now. I wonder if some of you need to go deep with something, which is really interesting to me to get this message. So I wonder if some of you need to dive deep into something. Some of you may just need to move away from the surface area, or from the surface level, rather, stuff here, and go a little bit deeper into something. And I think this is probably around action. I think this is probably around taking inspired action, not existing on the surface, but in fact realizing that when you take action, you're not only taking action on Earth, that is also happening within the universe. In the future, you have the Two of Cups. Potential romance coming in for some of you here with the Two of Cups in the future. This is my favorite love card to find in the tarot. It's two souls linking up in this lifetime. And, that can be a really deeply energetic connection between you and another person. So it's a very nice energy to find. And so I do wonder if some of you may be meeting somebody here in the future, particularly if you are single. If you're not single, you could see your relationship strengthening. Maybe that's what for some of you are looking at here around the surface level stuff. If you're in a relationship and it feels very surface level, some of you may be trying to go deeper into your relationship with another person. That could certainly be on the horizon for some of you Geminis as well. In your conscious awareness, on your thoughts or on your mind, you do have this Nine of Pentacles. You can see this person is not only wealthy. The Nine of Pentacles can indicate financial independence. They've grown this tree that has pentacles on it. And in other interpretations of the card, you'll see the pentacles growing on a bush, and presumably the pentacles regenerate. And so you can think about it as like passive income, but the same symbolism is here as it's growing on the tree. But the thing is about this Nine of Pentacles, they're not only concerned about their wealth, they're also concerned about their health. Health and wealth go hand in hand together. As you can see, they are taking a restorative bath, right? And so it's almost like for some of you, you may be doing some self-care. Some of you may be putting yourself first. Here at this time, and this may be showing up as taking that action, right? We talked about how there's something that you're looking to alchemize, or something you're looking to get inspired by, not letting, like the Saturn energy here, not letting the tasks fall by the wayside, but getting everything that you need to get done. And I do feel like this is a form of you showing up for yourself in you doing that. I do think that some of you here have a really nice situation around, it's almost like there's an inspiring energy here where it's like some of you are taking the right steps to bring yourself to where you want to go. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Now, interestingly enough, in the subconscious awareness in the lower row, or on your or the way that you talk to yourself, the hidden, you do have the Ten of Swords energy here. Ten of Swords and the Death card are probably two of the more challenging cards. And the Tower, you actually have three big ones that people really get afraid of. But you really should not be afraid of any of these cards in the tarot, because first of all, you have free will over the tarot. You can take any of these cards or drop any of these cards. You can take any of these meanings or drop any of these meanings. And so just to keep that in mind when you watch tarot readings, just for me, I can only speak for me, but for me, my message is to try to help empower people. And what I'll say here with this Ten of Swords is that there, especially as it's combined with the Death card, there has been a change, there has been an ending for many of you. And, this doesn't necessarily need to be about literal death and dying. This could be around you going through a major soul level change, going through a major energetic change in your life. And this may have something to do around inspired action, around doing the things that you need to be doing. In the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you do have this Page of Swords. Something, some of you are maybe concerned around disappointments. Some of you may be concerned around troubling news or troubled by some news or something like this. With the Page of Swords, it can talk about news of delays as well, something not happening as quickly as you had hoped. The Page of Swords, though, can also say that you are being given a gift of communication. You're finding a way to communicate something effectively. You're finding a way to communicate properly around something. And this is particularly important here as we've talked about you showing up for yourself. And I think there's something around surface level situations here with relationships, with maybe friendships, whatever type of relationship, family, friend, romantic. There's something around surface level energy here that maybe some of you are figuring out a way to communicate deeper, like away from the surface, but on a more deeper level. You do have the Tower here in the external. There could be a situation, the external is out of your control. Okay, you really can't control what happens in the external. You can't control what happens outside of you. You can control your influence, the way that you react or don't react. But the Tower here in the external, that is a sign that there could be something unexpected that happens. It doesn't have to be negative. Remember, I try to bring in these messages of empowerment. So for me, the Tower, this can really talk about a blessing in disguise in your life. This can talk about a big upheaval, a big change that leads to a new situation for you. This can also bring a way out of a challenging situation, which is why it can be considered a blessing in disguise. And so you do have a challenge here, right? You have the World. So if we're looking at this as a more positive way, you do have the World here in the problem position, making sure you're doing the things you have to do. And you have the Tower here in the unexpected. There may be a way out of your challenging situation here, as you have the World energy in the problem position. Now, in the hopes and fears, you do have the Page of Wands. So this is you have two pages. Double pages for me is a communicative period of time for you. You'll probably be talking with lots of people. There'll probably be a lot of different news and situations, information that comes in and comes out when you get two pages. Page of Wands can talk about, it's a really nice energy to find if you're looking for a job. So some of you may be hoping to find a new position. Some of you may be hoping to, throw out some resumes and just see what happens, see if any of them stick. But some of you also may be hoping for an offer from somebody, maybe a fire sign, maybe from someone else, but some of you may be hoping for an offer from somebody. This is why maybe there's this message of this surface level energy. In the outcome, you have the Nine of Cups, happily ever after for Geminis, right? So this is a very good situation to find in the outcome. I almost never bring this in with the Nine of Cups, but you can see there's sort of alchemy going on here. There's sort of like magic happening on the card, and you do kind of get that surface level message here as well, which is interesting. But this is really a card of your wish coming true. And so it's happily ever after here for Geminis. There's a little bit of a challenge here, but it will all work out when you get the Nine of Cups energy. So really like to see that. Let's go ahead and start to clarify for you. So in the three clarifications, you have the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the Eight of Wands. So I love the number 8. If you take the number 8 and then you flip it on its side, it's the infinity symbol. And so 8 is a number that's associated with major power. It's also associated with abundance. and it can be a really good card, a really good number for you. I like that because you're clearly trying to generate something in your life with the King of Wands on the bottom and the Magician. Could be some of you are really, really, really interested in an offer with 3 pages on the board here. Swords, Wands, Cups. Some of you, this is about romance here, as you see that coming in with the 2 of Cups in the future. Some of you here, this 8 of Wands, that situation coming in quick. The 8 of Wands talks about messages coming in from a distance quickly. And so I do think that some of you may be finding somebody here, particularly if you're a single Gemini, that could certainly be coming in. Could be a fire sign, but don't get hung up on the sign. For others of you, with this 8 of Pentacles going to this Page of Wands and the hopes and fears, you're really hoping that the skill set that you have is a good match for a new job or a new opportunity somewhere. And I would say the skies are blue for you. There's it's a green flag, right? The green light is on for you to go for something at this time. Yeah, because look, especially here as we have change, great fortune, and lovers. So this is a very clear message. Some of you, the change that's happening is around money, career, financial situations. For some of you, this is around love. You do have the best card to find in the Kipper with the great fortune card, which I love to see here because you do have this challenge. But again, this is happily ever after, surmounting difficulty, working through situations. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button and subscribe. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next reading.